Welcome back, grade 12 seniors. Today I'm going to explain for you lesson 8, and this is lesson 3 in topic 2, or you can say this is lesson 8 in your term 1 material, and the title of the lesson is Instant Rate and Reaction Mechanism. If you want, you can pause the video to go through the lesson objectives. Okay, one important thing related to the previous lesson I would like to share with you is the unit of K. Unit of K. As we said previously, the rate law is equal to K times reactance concentration, and the power here we call it order, and we said the power could be M, could be N, could be any unknown number. Okay, now if you have a rate law such that the rate law is equal to K times concentration of A times concentration of B squared. Now if the question is, what is the unit of K? Okay, this question is common in all exams. What is the unit of K? Now, first thing you would like to look at is the overall order of the reaction. The unit of K depends on the overall order. What is the overall order? Now, the order of A is 1 plus the order of B is 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So the overall order is the 3. I want you to memorize this. The unit of K is 1 over S second times M order minus 1. So here, if the overall order is the 3, so you can say that the unit of K is 1 over S times M power 3 minus 1 power 2. If you want to bring these two up, it will be S minus 1, M minus 2. Okay, now let me give you another example. If you say the overall order of the reaction is 0, okay, what is the unit of K? What is the unit of K? Same thing, 1 over S times M, 0 minus 1, this is minus 1. Okay, you want to bring these two up. S, bring it up, it will be S minus 1. M minus 1, bring it up, it will be M plus 1 or M. Now, if the overall order is 1, what is the unit of K? Same thing, you put 1 over S, okay, now M, which is the molarity, 1 minus 1, this is 0. Anything power 0, this is 1. So the answer is 1 over S or S minus 1. Now, if the overall order is 2, what is the unit of K? Okay, 1 over S times M power 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, now bring this one up, it will be S minus 1, and bring this one up, it will be M minus 1. So, دائما remember the unit of K is 1 over S, M order minus 1. You put the overall order, and then you minus 1, you get the unit of K. Okay, this is a very common question in the exam that you might get as a multiple choice question. Now, the first thing we would like to start with in this lesson is the instant rate. As we know from before, what is the meaning of rate? Rate means speed. Instant means at a certain point. Instant means at a certain time. Okay, so for example, if you look in this graph, what does this graph represent? طبعا this graph starts from 1 and it is decreasing, so this is a reactant. Now, if I say for you, find the instant rate or the speed, the instant rate or the speed at, let's say, 2 seconds. Okay, so the rate will be, as you do the slope at 2 seconds, we will come here. Okay, and this is 0.5. So y over x, this is the slope of the line. Y over x, which is equal to 0.5 over the time is 2, which is equal to 0.25. طبعا the unit is moles per liter or capital M over the time, which is S. Okay, دائما الرate molarity per second. In physics, it's meter per second. In chemistry, it's capital M over S. So this is the rate. Instant rate means I give you the time. Like if I say for you at 7 seconds, what is the speed at 7 seconds? Same thing, you say the rate is equal to, you come at 7, and then you do the concentration. This is 0.1 over 7, and then you find the answer. It will be m over s. Okay, so this is the way we find the instant rate. Now, before we continue, I want you to look with me in this what we are doing here. We are baking a cake. Okay, now I will define a new word. It is called the mechanism. Mechanism means the steps of a reaction. Okay, a reaction taking place in many steps. The mechanism is the steps. Now I want you to help me to tell me what are the steps for baking a cake. We will start here with step number 1. Okay, so in step number 1, I will mix the sugar. Okay, I will put white sugar plus brown sugar, white sugar. Okay, so in step number 1, I will put white sugar, and then I will add to it brown sugar, and I will add to it cocoa powder. Okay, and this will be mixture number 1. This is the mixture number 1. I will get mixture number 1. Now in step 2, what will I do? In step 2, I will take mixture number 1, which is this brown powder, mixture 1, and I will add to it water. What will I get? I will get mixture number 2, which is the water with this. Now in step 3, I will take the mixture. This one is this mixture plus the water. So I will take mixture 2 and I will add to it oil. I will get mixture 3. Now what happens in step 4? I will take mixture 3 and I will add to it eggs. I will get mixture 4. Now in this step, this is step 5. I took mixture 4 and I added to it flour, and I got mixture 5. And in step 6, I took mixture 5 and I added to it milk, and I got mixture 6. Okay, and in the last step, which is step 7, I took mixture 6 and I put it in the oven, and then I got the cake. Okay, now I can tell that this reaction is a complex reaction because it takes place in how many steps? It takes place in 7 steps. So any reaction that takes place in many steps is called complex reaction. Complex reaction. So baking a cake is a complex reaction because it takes place in many steps, in 7 steps. Okay, now another thing. I want to add all these reactions, and the result will be what we call the overall reaction. Okay, so when I add all these reactions, I will get the overall reaction. So what is the overall reaction? Now, I will add all these steps, but before I add them, what I want to do is I want to cancel if there is anything in the product side and in the reactant side repeated, I will cancel. So who will be cancelled? Mixture 1 with mixture 1, mixture 2 and 2, mixture 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6. Now what is left in the reactant side? Let's write them down. White sugar plus brown sugar plus cocoa powder plus water plus oil plus eggs plus flour plus milk. Okay, now what is the product? What is left in the product side? Only cake. Now these things, I call them the reactants. And this is the product. Okay, again, I will repeat. What is the reaction mechanism? It is the steps that are needed to make a reaction. If a reaction takes place in many steps, like this one, I call it complex reaction. Now, when I add all the steps, I get the overall reaction. Before I add the steps, I need to cancel similar things from the reactant side with the product side. Now, the things that are cancelled are called, anything cancelled is called intermediate, because this is something that happens in the middle. It's product in one side, and then it's a reactant in another step. In one step, it's a product, and in another step, it's a reactant. So we cancel them. So anything that is cancelled is called intermediate. Now, so far, let me insert a new page and write for you the new terms that we learned so far. First word you need to know is mechanism. What is the reaction mechanism? The reaction mechanism means the steps. And note that everything needs steps. Like if you are making cookies, you need to know the steps. You are making biryani, you need to do the steps. Okay, now second definition is, what is a complex reaction? Complex reaction means it is made of many steps. Okay, number 3. What is the overall reaction? Overall reaction means adding all the steps after crossing. What do we cross? We cross if there is the same thing in product and in reactant, we cross them. Now the things that we cross, what do we call them? Intermediate. Intermediate is the things that are cancelled. Okay, the things that are cancelled, these are called intermediate. Yani, in one step they are products and in another step they are reactants, so we cancel them. These are called intermediates. Okay, now let's speak about the time needed to make each step. Okay, now let's see. In order to mix the white sugar and the brown sugar and the cocoa powder, how many minutes do you need? Okay, let's say this requires only 1 minute. Okay, how long do you need to mix with water? Let's say 1 minute also. How many minutes do you need to mix with oil? Also 1 minute. Okay, to add the eggs and mix 2 minutes. Okay, and the flour 1 minute. Okay, and to put the milk 1 minute. Now in the oven, it will take maybe 40 minutes. Now, which step is the slowest step? Slowest step means it takes more time, the oven. What is the total time needed to bake a cake? 40 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. This is 40 and 1, 47 minutes. Where is most of this time spent? It's spent in the oven. So this is called the slowest step, which takes the longest time. This is the slowest step. I want to ask you a question. Can we bake a cake in 10 minutes? No. I can make these steps faster? Yes, I can make this step faster. But can I make this step faster? No. Isn't the speed of making a cake is minimum 40 minutes, because this is the longest step and it should stay in the oven for 40 minutes. I cannot make this step faster. لو نقوي الفرن the cake will burn. Okay, so I cannot make a cake in less than 40 minutes. It have to stay in the oven 40 minutes. I can make these steps faster, yes, but this one I cannot make it faster. So this is the slowest step, and it is called also, let me tell you what is it called. Okay, so the slowest step, which takes the longer time, slowest step, is also called RDS. R means rate, D means determining, and S means step. دائما الريت determining step أو the speed of the reaction تعتمد على the slowest step لأنه هاي it needs more time than the rest and I cannot make the reaction faster because this step is very slow. طيب, now we set the reaction mechanism. Try to find the keyword in the statement. The keyword here is the steps. Elementary chemical reaction يعني one step. Complex reaction, 2 or more steps. Okay, now intermediate. Intermediate is a substance produced in one step and consumed in another step. So it's this, مرة I find it as a product, مرة I find it as a reactant, and then I cancel it. Catalyst, I will speak about it later on. Okay, activated complex, as you know when we draw this. Reactants, products, and activated complex. The rate determining step is the slow step. Okay, now let's do practice. Okay, let's see here. Here I have a reaction. Now this reaction is complex because it takes place in 2 steps, more than 1 step. Step 1, X is becoming Y plus Z. Step 2, Y plus W gives you V. Now this step is slow and this step is fast. First of all, I want you to write these 2 into your notebooks and to find the overall reaction. Yalla, do the overall reaction. Before you add, cancel the similar things. What should be cancelled? طبعا Y and Y should be cancelled. Anything else? No. So what is left here in the reactant side? X plus W. In the product side, Z plus V. Now if I say for you, what is the intermediate? Y. What are the reactants? X plus W. What are the products? Z plus V. طيب, which step is the RDS, the rate determining step? طبعا احنا متفقين انه rate determining step is the slow step. So it is step 1. Okay? طيب, هلا here you will see there is something called catalyst. Usually you know that the catalyst is a substance that speeds up the reaction and it is not consumed in the reaction. يعني نفس الخميرة. I add it in the beginning of the reaction and then it should be there in the end of the reaction. يعني if there is here something that is found in the reactants in step 1 and a product in the last step, this is a catalyst. لازم الكاتاليست يكون بالبداية وبالنهاية. Okay, anything in the middle is called intermediate. Okay, now let's see what are the questions. The first question is, what are the reactants? طبعا reactants X and W. Products Z and V. Catalyst, ما في catalyst because there is no item or product or reactant that is found here and it is cancelled. Now intermediate is the one that is cancelled in the middle in Y. Rate determining step is step 1 and the overall reaction is this. Okay, now I'll give you one practice. Yeah, you have this reaction. It takes place in 3 steps. First of all, I want you to put a line and to write the overall reaction. Okay, the overall reaction, we said we should cancel the similar things. First of all, R2 will be cancelled with R2 and WR2 with WR2 and Q with Q. Notice that Q is found in the reactants of step 1 and it's a product in the last step. So this one that is found أول شيء وآخر شيء, this is called catalyst. So the catalyst is Q. Now these 2 are intermediates because they are cancelled in the middle. Now what is left? A very important thing, can I cancel X and X? For sure no, because here X is a reactant and X is a reactant. When I cancel, لازم يكون product مع reactant. But reactant مع reactant, I cannot cancel. So what do I say? X and X, this is 2X plus W gives me S. Now what are the reactants? 2X and W. What are the products? S. What is the catalyst? That دائما catalyst is found in the beginning and at the end. So the catalyst is Q. Okay, now what is the intermediate? We have two intermediates. We have R2, one intermediate, and WR2, this is the second intermediate. Rate determining step is the slow step, so it's step 1. Overall reaction, 2x plus W gives me S. Okay, so this is the way we do the, we add all the steps. Same here, yalla please, add all the steps, cancel the similar items, and answer these questions. Okay, pause the video and do the answers, and then check your answers. Okay, now what if I want to draw a graph? As you can see here in this graph is composed of two mountains. نحن متعودين إنه يكون عندنا one mountain only like this. Okay, let me insert a page. ممكن يكون عندنا هيك أو يكون عندنا هيك. And we said previously that here is the reactants, here is the activated complex, and here is the products. Same thing here, reactants, activated complex, and products. This reaction is losing heat, so this is exothermic. This one is gaining heat, so this is endothermic. Now, what if a reaction, if you see two mountains together, يعني هيك, one, okay, and this is the second one. This means that the reaction takes place in two steps. The first mountain is the step 1, and the second mountain is step 2. Now, how do we label each thing? طبعا, in the beginning, I have the reactants. At the end, I have products. At the top, I have the activated complex. Here, I will say activated complex 1, and here I will say activated complex 2. Now, here is the intermediate. Okay, here at this location, you will see the intermediate. Now, step 1, if I speak about step 1, is the step 1 exothermic or endothermic? This is exothermic. Now, if I speak about step 2, this is gaining, this is endothermic. Now, if I speak about the overall reaction, is exo or endo? I will look from here to here. Okay, the overall reaction from the reactants to the products, also exothermic. Okay, top. Now, if I have this graph, let me show you another graph. If this graph is composed of 3 steps, this is step 1, this is step 2, and this is step 3. Okay, top. Now, this reaction takes place in 3 steps. This is the reactants. This is AC1, this is AC2, this is AC3, and this is the products. And here you have one intermediate and one intermediate. This is intermediate 1 and intermediate 2. Now, the overall reaction is exothermic. Step 1 is exo. Step 2 is endo. Step 3 is exothermic. Now, one more important thing is which step is the slowest step? Okay, type. This is you, and this is your house. Okay, in order to reach your house, you have to go all this distance. Now, in the second step, this is you, and this is your house, and you need to go all this distance. This is the activation energy, okay? And in step 3, this is you, and this is your house, and you need to know to go all this distance. Where will you reach your house fastest? In step 1 or in step 2 or in step 3? This is step 3. طبعا this is the fastest because AE is very short. So this one is the fastest step. Now, which step is the slowest? يعني it will take you longer time to reach your house. Step 1. إذن step 1 is the slowest step. Okay, إذن from the height of the mountain, you can tell if the step is slow or fast. Here you can reach your house very slow. It will take you longer time لأنه بعيد. بينما هون you will reach your house faster because the distance is small. So this one is fastest step, this one middle, and this one is the slowest step. Now let's do practice. Yalla, now this reaction take place in how many steps? 2 steps, okay? If I say for you, label the graph, okay? Now this is the reactants. This is the AC1. This is AC2. This is the products and this is the intermediate. طيب سؤال, is the overall reaction exothermic or endothermic? The overall reaction is exothermic. Okay, step 1, endothermic. Step 2, exothermic. Now, which step is slower? It needs more time. Step 1 or 2? As we agreed before, this is, you are here, okay, and this is your home. And in step 2, you are here, and this is your home. Where do you think it will be slower to reach your home? In step 1 or step 2? Step 1. This one is slower. You need more time to get to your home. Isn't this is the slow step? Now let's answer the questions. What are the reactants? X plus R. What are the products? W plus S. What are the intermediates, or one intermediate, Z? Activated complex, Y and T. Now overall reaction means you write the beginning and the end. X plus R gives you W plus S. Rate determining step is the slow step, which is step number 1. Okay, same thing here. I want you to take this reaction that takes place in 2 steps, put a line, cancel what should be cancelled. طبعا NO مع NO بيكنسل و NO2 مع NO2 بيكنسل. O3 and O cannot cancel. Can we cancel O2 مع O2? طبعا لا, because O2 is a product and O2 is a product. So we have O2 and O2, this will be 2O2. Okay, هلا anything that is cancelled in the beginning of the first reaction and at the end of the last reaction, this is a catalyst. No, this is not no, this is an O. Okay. طيب, anything cancelled in the middle is the intermediate. And which step is the rate determining step? It is the slowest step, which is step 1. Okay, yalla, now let's do another practice. Okay, we will put a line. And then we will add. Before we add, we will cancel. Who will be cancelled? Y. Okay, and that's it. X, what is left? X plus W gives you Z plus V. Now pause the video and try to answer all these questions and then check the answers. Okay, now the complete sequence of elementary steps. When I say the word steps, this means it is the mechanism. Okay, a substance produced in one step and consumed in another step, this is called intermediate. Yeah, okay, same thing. Pause the video, put a line, and try to answer the questions. Find the overall reaction. Okay, if the question asks what is the catalyst, well, what will you say? Catalyst in the beginning and at the end, this is Y. Okay, the reactants, X and W. If the question says what are the products, then you will say V. What is the rate determining step? This is the slow step, which is step 1. Okay, now let's do this graph. طبعا عندنا هذا reaction taking place in 2 steps, step 1 and step 2. Try to pause the video and label the graph. This one is okay, now which step is slower? This one is slower because it needs more time to get to the top of the mountain. This one is slow. Now the intermediate is Z. The activated complex, we have 2 activated complexes, Y and T. Okay, now the number of activated complex and intermediates. We have one intermediate and two activated complexes. So, if you have a question that's saying a reaction takes place in 4 steps, how many activated complexes and how many intermediates you will have? Okay, very easy. Draw 4 mountains. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now this one is AC1, AC2, AC3, and AC4. So you will have 4 activated complexes. Now this is intermediate 1, intermediate 2, intermediate 3. So we will have 3 intermediates. If the question was asking for 4 steps, you can draw and you can tell how many activated complexes and how many intermediates do you have. Okay, during a reaction mechanism, there were 1 reactant consume 3 activated complexes. Okay, 3 activated complexes. Then this is AC1, AC2, AC3, and 2 intermediates, intermediate 1, intermediate 2. And how many steps does this reaction occur? طبعا 3 steps. Okay, now yalla, pause the video and label the graph. Be careful, this graph takes place in 3 steps. Okay. Now step 1 is MXZ. This is the reactant, this is the product. Step 2, Y, Z, W. Y is the reactant, Z, W is the product. And in the last step, W is the reactant, R plus S is the product. Now, which of the following describes X? Before, let's label. Okay, which of the following describes X? X is the activated complex. Okay, now the equation of step 1. Step 1, this is the reactant, this is the product. M gives you M becoming Y. If he was asking you about the equation of step 2, this one, then you will say Y arrow W. If he was asking about step 3, then you say W arrow R plus S. Okay, now the overall equation, overall تطلع على أول reactants وآخر products. M R plus S. Okay, now identify the intermediate. Now this is a bit difficult because here there are no letters written, but you just have to see the reactants. So this is step 1, this is step 2, and this is step 3. Okay, intermediates are similar things. لاحظوا إنه this one is the same like this one, so this will be cancelled. This one and this one cannot be cancelled because they are both in the reactant side. Okay, this one also, and this one will be cancelled because they are reactant and product. Same for this one and this one cannot be cancelled because both of them are products. So the intermediates are this one and this one, 2 blacks, 2 grays, and 2 grays, 1 black. Okay, now let's look at this reaction. This reaction occurs in 2 elementary steps. Can you find for me the overall reaction? Okay, لاحظوا إنه ال NO will be a catalyst, NO2 will be intermediate. Which of the following has the maximum energy in the energy profile? دائما لما نرسم energy profile, who is here maximum energy? Okay, the complete sequence of steps. What is the steps? Mechanism. Okay, a reaction that occurs in a single step, we either call it simple reaction or elementary reaction. One step is simple reaction. Many steps is complex reaction. يعني 2 or more خلاص يعتبر complex reaction. يلا okay, same thing here, put a line, cancel what should be cancelled and find the overall reaction. طبعا Cl is a catalyst because it's found in the beginning and at the end. ClO is an intermediate. So in the above mechanism, ClO is intermediate. The overall reaction is Okay, the catalyst is Cl. Okay, now this reaction takes place in how many steps? This is step 1, this is step 2, and this is step 3. Can we label? This is reactants, this is AC1, AC2, AC3, this is products, this is intermediate 1, and this is intermediate 2. Okay, how many activated complexes do I have? 3. How many intermediates do I have? 2. How many steps is this reaction? 3 steps. Which step is the slowest step? Now, let's look at step 1. This is you, this is your house, so you need to go here. Okay, this is very fast. Now, in the second step, you are here and your house is here. Now, in the third step, you are here and your house is here. Now, which step is the slowest step? I think step 2. Okay, so what the overall reaction is exothermic or endothermic? It is exothermic. Yeah, okay, what are the activated complex? Now pause the video and try to answer. Okay, now this question is, which arrow represent the rate determining step? طبعا the rate determining step is the slow step, which is slower, طبعا number 1. Now the activated complex is Y and T, the intermediate is Z, the products W plus S, the reactants X plus R. Please pause the video and answer by yourselves. Okay, so we have a few more questions to go. Same thing here, this reaction takes place in 3 steps. Cancel what should be canceled, and then find the overall. Be careful, you cannot cancel H2O مع H2O because both are products. You cannot cancel H2 مع H2 because both are reactants. So N2O2 مع NO2O2, N2O مع N2O. Okay, so what is left? 2NO plus H2 plus H2, this will give you 2H2. H2O plus H2O, this will give you 2H2O مع N2. Okay, so this is the overall reaction. Now, is the reaction complex or elementary? طبعا هو complex. Why? Because it's made of 3 steps. The equation of the overall reaction is 2NO plus 2H2 will give you 2H2O plus N2. Now, هل هدول اللي cancelled intermediates ولا catalyst؟ لو كان catalyst, it should be cancelled here in the reactant of step 1 and in the product of the last step. Is there anything cancelled? No. فطبعا هن الاثنين intermediates N2O2 and N2O. لو في سؤال what is the catalyst, you will say there is no catalyst. Okay? Identify the rate determining step. طبعا RDS هي ال slow step. هي step 2. Why? Because it is the slow step. Okay, يلا please put a line and answer the question. Here be careful, Mn plus 2 cannot cancel with Mn plus 3. Okay, it should be the same. Here Mn plus 4 will cancel with Mn plus 4. Ce plus 4, Ce plus 4, these two cannot cancel because both of them are reactants. Okay, Mn plus 2 مع Mn plus 2 can cancel. Okay, now let's see what is left. Ce4 plus, Ce4 plus, so I have 2 Ce4 plus مع Tl plus. Now in the products, Ce3 plus, Ce3 plus, so I have 2 Ce3 plus مع Tl3 plus. Okay, the rate determining step طبعا هي ال slow step, which is step 2. Now I need to tell if each one is a reactant or a product or a catalyst or intermediate. Pause the video and answer. Be careful, Mn plus 2 is cancelled in the beginning and at the end. So this is a catalyst. Okay, yalla, pause the video and answer. Okay, Q is catalyst, R2 is intermediate, WR2 is also intermediate. Okay, here we have a reaction taking place in 2 steps. This is the reactant, this is the activated complex 1, activated complex 2, this is the product, and this is the intermediate. Is it elementary or complex? طبعا بما انه 2 steps يبقى هو complex reaction. Okay, what does each of the following numbers represent? طبعا we wrote them here. Number 1 is reactant, number 2 is AC1, number 3 is intermediate, AC2, and this is the product. Which is the rate determining step? Here there was a confusion when this question came to the students in the exam because they saw X and Y are almost the same size, so they could not answer the question. Okay, X and Y is the same length. Usually one of them should be longer and this will be the right answer. But here in this question, we canceled this question in the exam. Okay, now let's look here at this question. We have this reaction taking place in 2 steps. Now this one is Cl. This one is oxygen, so this is O3. This is giving you oxygen and Cl, OCl, plus oxygen and oxygen. This is O2. Here, this is OCl, and this is O, and this is Cl, and this is O2. Now, is it elementary or complex? طبعا complex. Why? Because it's made of 2 steps. Now, let's add. Okay, OCl and OCl will cancel. Cl مع Cl will cancel, but this is a catalyst, not intermediate. Okay, so the intermediate is OCl. The reactants are O3 and O. The products are O2 and O2. Or you can say 2O2. What is the catalyst? The catalyst is Cl. Okay, now that's the end of your lesson 8. Study well, and I wish this video was beneficial for you.